Hey everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the foolery that took place on January 6th. It's very hard for me to kind of even start because I don't even know where to begin. Because every day you get more and more information, and I thought that I had a clear idea on where I was going with this video, but I'm just going to shoot from the hip and just speak from the heart because things need to be addressed. And I need to give a clear understanding, at least in my interpretation, of what's going on and how this is really affecting the US and how Christians or so-called Christians are using God's name in vain and act like it's moving something. Like you're not doing anything but making yourself look stupid. But anywho, I just want to get into it and I just need to talk about it. I need to vent, really. Truth be told, I was trying to come up here and be politically correct, but I don't even know if that's going to end up being, I don't know if it's going to end up being that way. But I wanted to come out here and I just wanted to give my piece and also to get your thoughts and opinions on what we all witnessed on the 6th. So if you're interested in getting my thoughts and opinion on what took place on January 6th, on these domestic terrorists taking over the US Capitol, by all means stay tuned. But if you're not here for that type of commentary from me, you just want to stick to the makeup or stick to beauty drama, whatever the case is I may deliver here, I understand you don't have to watch it because I am going to get slightly political. I am going to talk about religion and I don't want to offend anybody. I just want to give my point of view. So if you're here for it, stay tuned. But before you get all cozy, for those who want to go ahead and skip this one and want to catch another video where I'm, talking about all the glitz and the glam, there's a subscribe button that's located right over here. And alongside of it is a notification bell. Go ahead and click both so then you don't miss another video from your girl. It's right here. Click it. Welcome to my channel. There is a subscribe button that's located right here. Alongside of it is a notification bell. Stay tuned. I don't know where to begin. I know I have a lot of feelings about it, but let's just start with kind of basic general information about what took place on January the 6th. One, it was supposed to be just a regular day where Congress were supposed to get together to go ahead and confirm the election for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Well, so on that day, he wanted to rile up his troops, get them all wound up to fight his fight. It's crazy to me that we're here today even talking about domestic terrorism behind a president. Every 4 years, there's an election, right? There's going to be a winner. There's going to be a loser. I don't understand why this year, or at least last year on November 3rd, was any different than any other election year. And it's crazy that we have gotten to the point where half of America is willing to die behind this one man. And then on the flip side of that, want to shove God's name in it. And I don't understand how it goes hand in hand. I don't know what Bible, what version people are reading, but where are you getting it from? This man is the complete opposite of what God calls us to be as individuals. So what makes you think this was God's doing to make him president? Make it make sense to me so I can get a clear understanding. So Trump gives this speech about how we can't allow, I'm summarizing the foolery, how we can't allow them to steal the election, blah, 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 blah. Just excrement just coming out of his mouth. And he tells his supporters that him included are going to march down to the U.S. Capitol, and we're gonna let the Congress know how we feel. Da da da. No cheaters. Yep, yep, yep. All that good stuff. So he sends these people down here to, I don't know, their intentions. What you hear on the news, that some of them had bombs, you could clearly see these fools are scaling the walls, doing the most, right? We're going to talk about the vandalism in a little bit, but they went there to get the attention of Congress, to get the attentions of the congressmen, congresspeople, the senators, everywhere, those people, right? So he leaves them there by word, because he was too much of a punk to rock with him. You said that you were going to march with these people, and then you led them astray. So they went, I don't know, like, under what kind of spell that these fools wanted to break glass, climb through windows, tear up stuff, daggone defecate on furniture, defecate on desks, excuse me, defecate on desk, piss on stuff. Like, what is this proving? What did y'all gain by doing this? Is this saying to the other half of America that wanted him out? And that's another thing that I don't understand. It was like, okay, I understand y'all are upset that y'all wanted Donald to win. We wanted Hillary to win back in 2016. When we wanted her to win, it was like, oh, get over it. She didn't win. Wipe your tears up. Donald Trump is your president. Blah, blah, bloop. You already know it was said. You can look it up. It was on every conservative platform. They said for us liberals to go ahead and get over it. Okay. As we did, we sat here and sat through the freaking foolery for the past 4 years and took it on the chin and be like, okay, it's almost over. And we did what we were supposed to do, and we walked our happy butts to the polls, or we mailed in our ballots. So I don't understand where the discrepancy is coming from. And if the whole march, if the whole, hoopla is over voter fraud, let's do the math, okay? Now, granted, and I'm all over the place because it's pissing me off because of what took place on the 6th versus what took place over the summer with the Black Lives Matter movement and the police presence, the military presence that took place there versus what took place on Wednesday of last week baffles me. So I'm more frustrated with just even trying to explain it because I'm not going to get an understanding. No one's going to be in my comment section trying to explain to me why things happened the way they did. But as a Black Latina woman, you have to understand where I'm coming from. Where it would be different for me and mine versus the ones who were scaling up walls and defecating and pissing on things. So conservatives, and it's not even, I don't even understand how you can call yourself a conservative and vote for that guy. Because the definition of being a conservative is just basically just living traditionally, like what the Bible has in place. Like you living by what is written. That man, everything that is written in that Bible, this dude is the complete opposite of. So what are you truly embracing? He has never, at the 4 years in our presence, has he ever displayed the love of God, the presence of God. He doesn't walk by faith. There's nowhere in the Bible where God tells us to hate thy neighbor, to just be a disgrace. This man is everything, everything that God wants us not to be. And yet, you guys want to sit here and, mind you, let me backtrack. We are supposed to pray for our president, regardless of what political party he's in or she's in. That we're supposed to do. But let's keep it a buck. There was just a minister, pastor, whoever, who was literally, if I can find the clip, I'm going to insert it here somewhere, who was literally praying for those who didn't vote for Trump, for us to be cursed and banned and in pain and broke.
For those that have lied, those that have stolen this election, those that have cheated, I place the curse of God upon them. I curse you with weakness in your body. I curse you with poverty. I curse you with the worst year you've ever had in the name of the Lord.
Now that is what it means to take the Lord's name in vain.
I just want to know. And it kills me because I am a woman of faith. I don't go around sitting here judging people because this, one, is not my place. Two, I'm not going to sit here and degrade people. Now, I may not rock with you. I may decide, hey, you're not my cup of tea. But what you do is what you do. And the same thing when it comes down to this president. I didn't vote for him. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be, running around here and just keep blasting dude. Now, if I see something on the news, if I read something that's something I disagree with, I may get on Twitter, I may retweet, I may give my personal opinion on how I feel stuff, but I never once said anything or called this man outside his name. Because again, it's like, how am I any different by conducting myself like a clown? If that's what they're doing, like, how are we changing anything? And folks want to talk about liberals and yada yada. I'm not saying that Democrats are great people and there's no flaws in that political party, because I think in this case right now and what we're currently living in, it's not about political parties. It's about just freaking morals all across the board. Point blank, period. And I don't get why it's okay. In my opinion, the Trump supporters, I'm not going to even call them Republicans because they're not exhibiting what Republicans are. What they're doing is showing their racism because they had a leader who was allowing them to do what they want without any repercussion. You saw how these police officers just kind of led these fools in to the U.S. Capitol. You saw how no one got they got a rubber bullet to their face. A few people died. One lady got shot because she decided to go where she wasn't supposed to. But for the most part, they were able to walk away in one piece without being beaten or anything. These same people who talked about the Black Lives Matter movement and how they felt like they were disrespecting police officers. They backed the blue, didn't care what happened to Black lives, and they were rocking with the police officers. I could have sworn I saw them literally beat the bricks off of one. But no one is coming out to say anything about it. I've been on social media consistently to see if anyone spoke out against that. Like, y'all a bunch of hypocrites. How are you going to sit here and back the blue and then literally put one on his back? Y'all, you going around here saying that, these liberals are going to take our rights. They're going to take our rights. What exactly are you guys scared to lose? Oh, your precious little, guns? You guys just committed a crime. You won't, and it's a felony for busting up in the U.S. Capitol. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to rock your guns after having a felony on your record. So you shot yourself literally in the foot. The irony. The Electoral College, they voted according to what the popular vote was for their area. So where was the fraudulence? And if there was some form of fraudulence, how many votes do you think it would take for this dude to be reelected? Like y'all really believe it was that many votes that were just thrown in there? Like, do you not feel like he made minorities feel some type of way? And it wasn't just black people. It was the Latinx community. It was the Asian community, the Jewish community. Like, a lot of us got affected by this dude under his administration. And so it's the Trump supporters versus everybody else. It for us, it was better for us to work together to get this dude out versus you guys standing alone in hatred. In the beginning of his administration, you could see the hatred building. What took place in South Carolina? What took place in the synagogue? What took place in the black community? And y'all really think that there was some form of voter fraud? We truly don't like this man. You can talk about unemployment and what he did for whatever minority group, but it wasn't enough. You can't buy our vote. And you guys were trying to feed that to us. Well, at least he put this amount of money in the black community, in the black pocket, and unemployment, and black historical colleges. We still don't like you. Like, come on. He's not our God, and that's exactly how you guys treated him. When I say the worship was real, y'all had this man looking like the Terminator. Y'all put him on the American flag that y'all swear that y'all like no one disrespecting. Y'all put a whole dude on the flag. And everything was like for him. We're doing this for him. For who? Like, listen. Now he walked his supporters straight to the jailhouse. And I just would like to know if they truly feel or if they think that this dude is going to come to their rescue. Is he going to find money out the woo-ha to pay for their legal fees? Because I want to say in 2016, when he had people at his rallies punching innocent people and pushing them or whatever because they didn't look according to what I guess he wanted them to. Like they weren't rocking with him as far as his beliefs and his policies, and they didn't look like the people in his audience, or the majority of the people in his audience. So he even told his crowd, "Go ahead, punch him in the face and do whatever they felt like they had to do." And some older dude did that. So at the very beginning, this dude spoke hate and violence. And so this is not a shocker. And for the Trump supporters, y'all fed right into it. And now you have to deal with the repercussions of that. I hope it was worth it. Like, he's not going to know you by name. He's not going to care. He led y'all right into that foolery and went and hid in a cave bunker somewhere and celebrated his son's birthday. And while the other one's live streaming and they're chilling, while you guys are literally scaling up the walls, beating on police officers, tearing up the people's property because your candidate didn't win. People lose all the time. But you guys don't seem to realize that this can truly affect any other election. And I know that it's just not the fact that this dude lost the election. I know that it isn't it. That's not the only reason. I know that you guys are truly afraid of equality. And it's evident because the hate that is that is being displayed is like, who would have thought in 2021 that we will be rewriting history? It's repeating itself. And where some white people feel as if minority groups are coming to take their country. I'm not a history buff. I'm not into political science. I'm into just plain out having morals. And the little bit of history I know, I like to hold on to, or I like to regurgitate when necessary. You're afraid of people taking your country and you feel like you have to take it back. But you do understand that this country belonged to the Native Americans and it was stolen from them. And they've never come back with any form of revenge to take what rightfully belongs to them. And here some of you are feeling like, well, let's take this back. You guys are coming off so entitled about stolen property. Y'all stole it, and you're afraid that people want to reclaim it. And it's sad because no one is thinking about that. No one is thinking about your little wagons or taking the country over. People just want equality. Black men and women want to be able to just live and not get beaten, killed by the hands of the police, and for the police officers to get away with the crimes they commit. How is that wrong to even ask? And I wanna ask, and maybe someone can answer this in my comment section, but why are conservatives so aggressive or assertive? Why are you always upset? If y'all, again, it goes back to bringing up God and always mad. I also want to know what Bible you guys read because I would love to read it. I want to get a clear understanding of where you guys come from, and I just need to know. And I do notice that in your political party, at least within the last 4 years, you have a lot of followers. Like this Ted Cruz dude. I just hope that the ones who didn't have a spine and didn't speak up when they saw something wrong occurring or had a feeling that something was going to happen, decided to sit back and kind of just chilled, didn't defend the Constitution when it came down to this election, kind of just said, you know what, we're going to let this dude have it and not complain or whatever because we don't want to mess up our political futures. You do understand that it's going to be tough for you because you didn't step up to the plate and do the right thing. So last night, watching the news and kind of flipping the channels, going back and forth in between networks, and also being on Twitter, when people compare BLM to what took place on the 6th, it stings. It makes you want, like if you have any form of moral compass, it makes you want to come out of your skin, and it just makes you want to put your hands around people because it's like you have the audacity to sit here and compare lives to an election. I'm going to use Breonna Taylor for instance. This woman was sitting at home, and not sitting, she was in bed at home, died for no reason. For no reason. And some people don't understand the outrage in that. Some people don't understand the outrage of George Floyd. This man literally got murdered in front of all of our eyes. But don't see the outrage in that. Don't see the outrage before his killer went to jail. I think that person's out on bail. Before they went to jail, they had a whole army of police officers protecting his home to where no one could protect him. no one could protect Breonna Taylor. And you guys want to compare the two to where a candidate lost the presidency race and people decide it's okay to be destructive. Not only were you destructive, you were doing some like sick behavioral health kind of stuff. Like you weren't wrapped too tight. When you're defecating on stuff and peeing on things and saying that you're going to hang the vice president because he was doing his part, he was actually doing what is stated in the Constitution. And yet you guys had an issue with that because your Lord and Savior said, hey, I want you to flip this. So you're okay with a liar and a cheater. And again, want to put God in the midst of that. It's baffling to me. That I want to say, it wasn't in DC. Maybe in Minnesota where they had burned down the police station. I'm not for looting, rioting, none of that. One, my thing is, I understand why people do it, and for whatever reason, right? I understand why you might do it, but is when you're looting and you're rioting, you just have to kind of be mindful, like have a conscience in who it's affecting. But there was a legitimate reason a life was lost. This dude literally lost an election, and you guys are crying. And I can't remember the woman's name who died. God bless her soul, because she was foolish. There was nothing patriotic about what she did. So sorry if that offends you, but it wasn't. She was literally committing a crime. And some people will make sure that when a black body is taken or shot, beaten, or whatever, the media always wants to pull out their criminal record and how bad they are and how this, that, and the third, even though whatever took place, they were actually innocent in that situation. They want to make sure that the media knows they were trash prior to the incident. I understand the woman was a veteran, but she wasn't the brightest crayon in the box, because if she respected her country, she should have understood that what everybody else was doing was something that she shouldn't have been doing. You can't control people's actions, but she could have controlled her own. And she made a decision. She made a decision and sacrificed her life in the name of Donald Trump. And then you have the dude who had the horns and things. I saw that clip right before I cut my camera on, to where this dude, I guess he eats organic meals, and his mommy was like, well, he needs to eat, and he's not going to eat because he doesn't have organic meals, because he literally gets sick. Man. Like, do you expect anyone to care? Because we don't. And these Trump supporters need to be happy that more lives weren't lost. And if they can't see their white privilege, and they will never see it. They will never see it if they didn't see it in this situation. But let's just say a whole army of black people decided to swarm up on the state capitol, bust down windows, if we could even get that close. Can you imagine the bloodbath? Can you imagine? This country is divided. It's divided right down the middle. So how do we do to fix it? Do we continue to spew hate and not understand each other's point of view? Now, granted, we don't have to agree. We can always agree to disagree. But when do we begin to empathize with each other? Now, I will say this. Now, I want people to understand there is nothing to empathize with these Trump supporters who decided to go to the U.S. Capitol on January 6th to scale on walls, to defecate in these daggone these servicemen's offices. And while you're sitting in your jail cells, I hope that you're having a long talk with Jesus about how stupid you were. And I hope he gives you understanding that this is not of him. What you did was not of God by the furthest. And repent. No one is above change, but dear Lord, you have to understand your wrongs. And understand this: evil never prevails on any level. Now, good people might go through stuff, and we all look to God and be like, Jesus, why? But understand that he always has our back as long as we're doing what we're supposed to. And so when you have all these ministers who are praying for Trump and all hail Trump, and what's that other chick's name? The lady who was just like, she called the African angels and stuff like that. Yes, the African angels did come and they voted for Biden. I mean, I would love, what's her name, Paula White? I would love to have been like in her house when she found out that this dude didn't win. Like, did she have a long talk with Jesus to be like, Jesus, what happened here? But when these ministers start preaching hate, it's like, who wants to go to their church? They're saying that more foolery is about to come. Be safe. It's not worth it. And if you do believe in God, keep him close, because the only way we're going to get through this is that we love one another, we respect each other, and we let these fools do what they have to do. Let God handle it, and let's move on doing what we need to do to grow together as a whole. Because it's crazy. Do guns mean that much to you? Hating people, does it mean that much to you? I pray that people don't get hurt any more than they have. If you don't have to be out in the street, and I had said it in my last video, like, I DoorDash, and I haven't really been DoorDashing because I've been so busy with other stuff, but I've been wanting to because I'm trying to get some things, and I feel like as a Black woman, it may not be safe for me to be out and about, and that is sad because people are hurt that, and let's keep it a buck, people are hurt that the Black vote is what got him out. So who do you take out? The people who voted. We gotta do better. We have to do better. Stop spreading hate. Let's love one another and let's make it happen. Like, if these people want to sit here and run amok, let them run amok by themselves. Let them do it to themselves. Let them put themselves in jail where they lose all their rights. Period. I don't know what side you're on, but I'm on the side where I'm not trying to have my political views affect my neighbor. It's not that deep. I'd rather respect my neighbor versus who I voted for. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, I would love to hear your thoughts on this whole situation, regardless of what side you're on. But what I do ask is that you guys remain respectful in my comment section. Say your piece, but let's not disrespect each other, because we're not going to get anywhere like that. Nowhere. And also give me your opinions on how, or your thoughts on how you think we can get over this hate, because someone has to come up with a solution. What can we do better to become closer? Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Tali is Eye Candy. That's on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And yeah, I think that is it. And I will catch you all in the next. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.
Es que yo estoy buena, es que yo estoy dura. Yo sé que tú me quieres dar toda la noche entera. Tú no muevo la cadera, yo sé que te desespera. Pero con esta negra no hay quien pueda.
Come on then.